Hi everyone, welcome to QuestText Gaming. This is a Tear Me Apart cast, one of the first of them. Thank you so much for watching and doing this, I really appreciate it. The basic idea of this is to just get a little bit of criticism on some of the stuff I'm doing not so well, what I can improve on, etc, etc, whether that be camera work, play-by-play, filling in some of the lulls in the game, whatever. If you feel like it's a valid comment and maybe a suggestion to improve, or you just really want to get it out there because it's bothering you that much, please just let me know. It'll be on Dota 2 Cast It, so I imagine that's where most of you have accessed this from. And there'll be a link in the description if you want to put any comments on it there as well. But all that out of the way, let's get started. So we've got Southport Gaming, and it looks like they're going against just a normal 5-stack. We've got the pretty normal bands, the Juggernaut, even though he got that slight base 1 nerf on his armor, still pretty strong, still getting first banned, first picked. Then the same with the Brewmaster, the Doom, and again some more standards on the side of the Radiant. And then we come to the picks, currently on the second stage of banning, so we've got a little bit of time to talk about this. We've got the Tidehunter pickup and the Void pickup on Southport Gaming, which means this is most likely the offlane Tide, because yes, Void can offlane, but when you've got someone who's so efficient in there and doesn't benefit that much from the carry role or the support role as much as the Faceless Void could benefit from the carry, it's better to put the Tide on the offlane. So it's going to be pretty standard lane there, I would imagine. And then we've got the two supports pickup on the side of the Radiant, the Venge and the AA. They could be very strong in a tri-lane. If they pick up another hero with a stun as a carry, so people that jump to mind are something like a Sven, they could land the Magic Missile, they could land the Stormhammer, and the combination of that stun lock would allow them to land the Cold Feet as well, because it's obviously got that 4-second time before someone gets locked down. But against the offlane Tide, he's got Kraken Shell. He may have a chance to remove those stuns. I'm not quite sure how it works exactly with point stuns. I know it works with channeled stuns like Shackle and that, you can debuff it off. So perhaps he would be able to get rid of Cold Feet before it caused too much problems. So they will have to keep an eye about committing too much to that lane dominating strategy. That being said, with the Vengeance Aura and the Chilling Touch, the two supports themselves do have a lot of harass that they could just go in and give Tide a really bad time. And just, if they can't kill him, they can definitely isolate him from the lane. And that can also be quite an effective strategy against the Tide. We get the pickup of the Ogre on Southport Gaming. A nice support, they're going to need a range in here at some point just to do some of this zoning. I mean, they're going against an Axe, and if this is the Axe offlane, which it most likely is, he's going to have a really nice time against these two melee heroes in lane, because he's going to be able to get those spins off, and he's going to be near them when they get off, and it's going to discourage them from coming in and sort of try to haze him away from the lane. It could cause a lot of problems. You really need a range support, maybe someone like a Skywrath who can cause a lot of harass from a safe distance, and it would be great for them. And he's not that greedy at all. He's a very nice support to have. He could work well here. In fact, I'm starting to like it more and more the more I think about it. But for now, they pick up the Invoker, so that's their mid. At least I would imagine that's their mid, you never know. The Axe. The Axe against this team is okay. Like we said, he's going to do great against this lane if they don't get another range support. But they've also got issues with the lockdown that they can give. You've got the Fire Blast, you've got the Ravage. Obviously Axe can just whirl through all of that even though he's stunned, but it is still not as much damage as he could be getting out if he weren't locked down. And it does give them the opportunity whether to lock him in the chrono and then beat him down regardless of the stunning, or just ignore him, clean up the rest of the team, and then the only person left is Axe, and they can decide from there whether they want to take the fight or whether they want to run away. We also get the Slart pickup. Now he's a little bit better against Void since he got the buff to his Shadow Dance, or the nerf to Chrono depending if you're an optimistic or pessimistic person. But essentially you can't see Slark in the Faceless Void Chrono anymore, which can work well, but again it would eat up the time that he's in that immunity stage. He wouldn't be able to chase with it, he'd only be able to use it defensively. right now I think South Park have a real need for a range support. They need to pick it up, and it seems like the Radiant agree with me going ahead and banning that Lich. And we actually get the ban on the Storm Spirit from the South Park, so interesting to see what they think might be happening. Looks like they're expecting a mid, and it makes a lot of sense. In fact, Storm Spirit could wreck house, particularly against the Ogre and the Invoker, if he gets to the point where he can sustain those ball lightnings, and he can ball in, ball out, just be balling all over the place. I refuse to make a pun about him being a baller, I just can't do it to myself. I can't do it to you guys either. And South Park, there is the ranged guy that they needed. Disruptor isn't bad. The Thunder Strike is so good at level 1, and even at level 2 it's still pretty strong. It can cause a lot of harass, it can cause a lot of problems. Downside, Axe could stay in the lane, potentially. If he's not taking that much damage, he could stay in the lane with this Thunder Strike on him, and just make Disruptor do damage to the creeps, and then the lane would push. Could be problematic. It's good against the AA, it can cause problems against the Venge, particularly with Glimpse. Again, it'll be good against the Slark with Glimpse, and potentially the Axe. Although that depends on whether he goes Blink Dagger and such. It's also good to Sable. I still think the Skywrath would have been a solid pickup, but Disruptor is by no means a bad one here. And we get the Beastmaster finishing it off for the side of the Radiant. So he'll be their mid. And it is going to be the AA Venge Slark in the tri-lane, going to be using that Slark Pounce to help land the AA stun. And they've got the Venge to assist in all of that, of course, whether that's the setup for the Pounce or just a longer duration before Cold Feet procs. It's up to them. And then we've got the simple Axe off lane, Beast mid. And a pretty standard one up top as well, Tide off lane with the Ogre, Disruptor, Faceless Void in the tri-lane, and the Invoker middle, I would imagine. Just waiting for one or two last pickups, and there's the lag that you get every time before you get into the game. It's a real pain in the arse. And we're actually waiting for Disruptor as well. That's no biggie. And oh, get off directed camera. Not used to doing these without being in the broadcasting slot. All right, let's have a look at the teams. So on the side of the Radiant, we have Strawberry. On the Beastmaster, on the Ancient Apparition, we have got Burberry. We then have Lilith Asami on the Vengeful Spirit. TJS is bringing the Axe off lane, and Ace of Angels is playing the Slark carry. On the side of South Park Gaming, we have got Butters on Tidehunter, Kyle is on the Faceless Void, Eric is on the Disruptor, we've got Stan on the Ogre, and Kenny on the Invoker. Surprising that they didn't invite the Cartman. Oh, it's Eric Cartman. I'm an idiot. Surprised to see him playing support. Just sort of going, fuck you guys, I'm going home, and straight into the carry position. But whatever. We'll see how it goes. So it looks like Stan could be going for maybe the defensive ward up here, or they could want to go and block this pull camp. As it stands, they're going to play it safe and just drop one there. They have got the sentry, so if they want to go for the magic bush or the pull, they're going to go for a very safe pull block. That's actually a little bit far out. It may just block it, but I'm not too sure. Normally I like to place it around here if I'm going for a very defensive one that they can't see. But if it does the job, then that's absolutely fine. Bounty Rune control is going the way of the Radiant. Pretty efficiently actually. They're going to get both these Bounty Runes uncontested. Ogre coming down now to have a little bit of a check, but he's not going to get it. They are already gone. They're favouring instead the blocks, and I'm not sure how valid it is to do the blocking or the Bounty Rune at this chance. I mean, you can see the fact that Strawberry didn't do a middle block, and Kenny did, but Kenny's was a little bit ineffective, so that didn't happen quite as effectively as he would have liked. If he had done that, the creeps would be fighting up here on the high ground instead of down in the middle lane. What it normally tends to do is it's good to dedicate a support to do the block, and then get your mid to pick up a bounty and maybe your carry to get a bounty as well. But that all comes down to whether you think the bounty can be secured just by one or two people there. If there's a big contestation by the other team, it could be looking at not just the loss of the Bounty Rune, but the loss of First Blood. This ward is doing so much wonders for Tide right now. He is out of lane, and he is taking a little bit of damage. Didn't get back far enough then for safety. Gets one more hit. But although they're not picking up kills, this is the isolation from the lane that is happening. And in fact, it's really effective right now. They have got the level in Chilling Touch as well, so it looks like they're going to be favouring this over anything else. Butters is still sitting on level 1, and Slark is getting uncontested farm, sitting 5-1, compared to the 2-0 on the Faceless Void. Looks like they actually have got Stand down here as well, so they're going for dual lanes, which means that this Axe isn't going to have a terrible time. He has got the range support to try and zone him out, but right now he's doing okay. He's not got any last hits, although you can see he's really deep in the lane. He's level 2, and Tidehunter is still sitting on level 1. Going to hit level 2 fairly soon though. And Axe about to hit level 3. CS wise as well, the carry on the side of the Radiant is doubling the CS on Void right now. Not too much can be told by that at the 2-minute mark, but if they do carry on like that, they're going to have issues. TGS going in really deep there, doing a lot of damage to Eric. Could be looking for more. A tower dive would not quite go as planned, I imagine. Unless they can really risk it. They may need to wait for the next raid. I do apologise, I forgot I was on TeamSpeak. So feel free to put that in the feedback. Right then, that threw me a little bit. We are getting the cut of the wave here as well, so Axe is really enjoying being able to play aggressive here. We're also looking at a potential wraparound, but this ward, again doing the work, keeping it spotted out, making sure that they know what's coming, but they may go in regardless. Chilling Touch and the Pounce and the Wave of Terror onto Butters. This is looking like a first blood. They get the stun onto Ace of Angels. He's giving chase. Pounce available in 10 seconds. Ice Vortex does the slow. They need one more, and they do pick it up. First blood going to Ace of Angels. That is not good for South Park. First blood on the carry, just as Faceless Void got ahead on the CS as well. That's going to put a bit of a difference in the net worth. Currently 600 between the two carries. And the TP comes back in on Butters. Currently, mid lane, going quite well for Beastmaster. We have got the Exort build coming out on the Invoker with a little bit of cost for that regeneration. But these Whirling Axes just doing so much damage to Kenny that they're really forcing him out. And the CS, surprisingly, is going to the melee hero. That being said, they're both only level 4. I was expecting a little bit higher than that, but level 5s, yeah, they're getting there. But yeah, this Invoker's not having a great time, and he's only got a Null Talisman to sustain him. And this, of course, level 1 in Quas. He throws the Cold Feet, but it's okay, Haste gets activated. TGS going in deep up top. He activates the Battle Hunger. He is going to go for the kill here, and he is going to pick it up. Can he get out alive? It looks promising. He's on the run. Kyle's giving chase. He does have time walking 3 seconds, but whether he can go one-on-one, I'm not too sure. Meanwhile, Ogre McGee gets a kill on Ancient Apparition as Butters is yuking around trying to avoid Ace of Angels' wrath. It's going to look close, but he goes the wrong way, and he does get pounced down. Meanwhile, Kyle goes in on TGS. It comes down to RNG. We get one spin. We've had one bash. Currently, RNG's is pretty even. As the Battle Hunger comes out, this is dangerous. They have got a tango. TGS giving chase. Pings are coming out from Kyle. He's asking for help. Will he get it? That's the question. And he is going to drop. Meanwhile, Beastmaster manages to get a kill on Invoker. Blood in all of the lanes right now. And we'll see if the Radiant can carry on with their current win. It's going very successfully for them. 5-1. And when they did lose, they only lost their support. And the kill only went to, I believe, one of their supports on the Ogre. Yeah, the only one who has picked up a kill on the side of South Park. They have issues. Particularly when you look at the fact that all of the cores have at least 1 kill, 2 of them holding on to 2. It's pretty insane. Eric gets Battle Hungered up. The Thunderstrikes come out. He's also getting Glimpse back. Look at the damage Eric takes there. They also get a Pounce kill onto Tidehunter that just gets picked up by the AA, in fact. The last right click there. Stan, in lane, all alone. Just a little bit scared. Strawberry now hits 7. He's activated the regen. He activates the roar. Whirling Axes come out. Another kill. Meanwhile up top, TGS applies more pressure. He has completely won this lane. Zoning out the support, zoning out Kyle. Having bad times. And we get a TP in again from the Tide Hunter. Currently sitting on 0-3, not having the best time in this duel lane. You get the bounty pickup on Lilith Asami as well. We are getting the gank up top from Strawberry. And it looks like it could be a wraparound onto Kyle. He has got Time Walk available, of course, so they can't dedicate too much. They want the Disruptor. They have DD. Definitely got the potential to take it. They don't have Raw to keep it locked down. Do they need it? The axes come out. It does clip Eric, and the speed is just too much. The glimpse comes out, but the kill does go Strawberry's way. Even if he didn't get that, the Battle Hunger was probably going to pick it up. But the mid made the successful gank. Still got his DD rune. Still got Raw on cooldown for 16 seconds. May wait around this area until that's off cooldown. Come in and go straight onto Kenny, who has Ghost Walk invoked. So they're going to need to be quick here if they want to do it. No vision on the Beastmaster. No vision on the rotated Vengeful Spirit either. They go in onto Kenny. They throw the Raw. The Wave of Terror as well. So much damage. Too much damage. He falls. That's a kill. And TGS carries on farming. Ace of Angels. Still in lane. Still doing absolutely fine. Got his level 6 compared to the level 4 Ogre. CS. Top 3, all the cores on the side of the Radiant. What more could you ask for right now? Pretty much nothing. Butters is carrying on doing some farming, and that's going okay for them. It'll be okay. There's no stacks, so they're not going to have the greatest time in the world. But right now, it's Butters' only chance of getting a Blink Dagger, getting those mana boots up. But you really need some stacks there for him, just to help. The tier 1 has fallen mid. We're not seeing too many rotations right now. We've only seen 1 or 2 ganks this game. But Venge does seem to be dedicating more and more to being in this middle lane and locking down this Invoker who has been able to pick up a bottle. I don't know whether he's going to be able to have rune control here though. He would be really lucky. Because look how far he's pushed back. And if they wanted to, they could go for both of these runes. 2 potential fights happening right now. We've got the rotations coming mid. We've also got South Park getting a little bit aggressive at Radiant bottom. But they do go in on mid. They throw the Magic Missile, the Wave of Terror, absolutely everything. Bring down Invoker again. What a horrible time he is having. 0-4. This is a truly lost lane middle. In fact, have they got a level 6? They've got 2 level 7s on the side of South Park. That is the only heroes they have with access to their ultimates. The rest sit in at level 5s and level 3 on the Disruptor. They go in for the pounce onto Stan. It does hit. They get the Dark Pact as well. Bring him down. They're looking to bring down Butters as well. Of course, he doesn't have Ravage available. He does bring down the Ancient Apparition before he falls. He throws the Anchor Smash as well. He is going to drop, and he does. Ace of Angels gets clipped by the Sunstrike, but it did very little. And Void, he gets blinked on. They get the first stun with the Berserkers. He throws the Chrono as well, but he has to run away. That is a very big waste of a defensive Chrono. Probably getting out alive. Is it worth it, though? Stan making a brave decision to come in all alone, forcing Void to come back potentially. That would be a mistake. TGS is very low. They're really looking to pick this up. He activates the Berserker's Call for the extra armor. Strawberry's getting in the way. He's trying to do blocks. The Salve's been popped as well. Another rotation coming in from Butters. Still not got Ravage available, though. We get the Time Walk out from TGS, even the Blink. We get the stun onto Strawberry, and he may fall, and he does fall. They now have the potential to pick up Ravage. Axe gets out alive. So they did get the turnaround. It was close. Maybe, in hindsight, a bad decision to TP with the Sunstrike hitting, but at the time, he didn't have much to go on. He just had to get out of there as soon as he could. It wasn't a bad play. It just seemed that maybe running out instead of TPing would have got him a better result. Of course, everyone bear in mind that we have information that they do not have, such as the position of the heroes on the other side. And how many of them are there. We're getting a slight push onto the tier 1, but the Radiant haven't got that great a push lineup. All they've got to do really is just keep winning big team fights, and when they have 5 people there, start to push. They go in onto Kyle now, they get the Berserker's Call, they waited a beautiful amount of time. Here comes the Magic Missile, and the Sunstrike misses. Another kill onto the carry, really locked down. I mean, there's a 20 difference, well, almost 20 difference of the CS between the two carries right now. The net worth, it's even bigger than that. 3 grand. That is a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold indeed. We've also got the Midas on Slark, so he's going to continue to farm at just an incredible level. And having a look at them being so far ahead, it could be worth just having a quick look at the net worth. Currently a 7.5k advantage and experience of a 5k advantage. So the game is quickly getting out of hand for South Park right now. They really need to pull a team fight and let this rubber banding effect kick in. Grab a kill on the Slot, grab a kill on the Beastmaster, and it will have a huge impact on the game for this team. We also got Ravage available. They're looking at Beastmaster now. I don't know how well they dedicate the Ravage, but Kenny was not there. He was not prepared for that. The miscommunication from the team was strong there. Now the cold snap comes out, but I think it's too late. That was really bad. It just seemed like Invoker was not prepared for that Ravage to come at all. He wasn't close enough in the lane. And by the time he got there, nothing happened. We get a big Chronosphere. TJS does fall to the Void. That is a lot of gold. Magic Missile comes out. We're also getting an Ice Blast. The Roar comes out onto Kyle. The Ice Blast does hit as well. That brings down one. Where the hell has that Brewmaster gone? It looks weird. It actually ended up being a 1-for-1, I believe. And was that an illusion from Beastmaster? I don't even know what happened there. He was there and then he wasn't there. So I'm going to assume it was an illusion. I called him Brewmaster and all that confusion. He could be looking for the pickup onto the Void here. No mana for Time Walk. Does he fancy going for it? They've seen the bird, and they do go for it. One more click, that picks it up. And that's going to set the Faceless Void back again. The Ice Blast was not able to pick anybody up, but they did end up trading a 1-for-1. And another Ice Blast comes out now. It does miss Butters. He has got 2 levels in Kraken Shell, so he's got a chance to debuff it. Smoke Gank coming out from the Vengeful Spirit, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Also holding on to a Magic Branch for Strawberry. It's just dropping them all over the place, and we are getting the Smoke Gank. This isn't going to be too effective, really. They're going to get revealed and seen. Burberry's getting stunned up. Cold Snap as well. The Whirling Axis discourages any more advance, but they go in. We get the swap coming out. TJS gets a free-man Berserker's Call. Absolutely tearing through. The stun comes out. Kenny has ghost walked out of this, so he is okay, but he's leaving the rest of the guys in a little bit of hot water. They're going to try and bring down Stan, and they do that with the Whirling Axes. We get the blink onto Butters. They do not have Berserker's Call available, but Culling Blade is up and ready to go. It's just a question of when. They get a Berserker's Call. They're going to need to land a Culling Blade at some point as the Sunstrike comes in, and Kyle does not get the kill. It goes to the Invoker. Kyle gets brought down for the double kill on Strawberry. That was a 3-for-2. Rubber Band effect will make it so that it wasn't too dreadful a trade for South Park, but still not too bad of a fight either for the Radiant. We're getting the Aghanim Scepter rush coming out on Beastmaster. And a look at some of these builds can give us a little bit of an idea of what's going on in the game. So we do have the Shadowblade pickup on the Slark. Obviously going to give him that amount of time to get more initiation, get more regeneration. However he wants to play that, he can. It's quite a versatile item on him. I know some people like to go Blink as well, but I'm okay with the Shadowblade one. There is a little bit of a risk when you're going against the Void. And obviously it can get countered by 180 gold item on the Dust. But initiation wise, it's going to be causing a lot of trouble, I imagine. We also get the Mask of Madness build on Faceless Void. A very hotly debated build for the team I play with. There are those that like it and there are those that absolutely despise it. I prefer to see the Molgener build normally, but bear in mind that this Void is very far behind the net worth and he needs something to get these pickoffs now. And if he can do that, it's huge. They do have an Ancient Apparition Blast bringing down the Disruptor with the help of Strawberry, who then get glimpsed to safety. Meanwhile, they bring down Tide on the bottom lane. Was that just a pounce and everything else? We can't tell because we're not seeing that fight. The Sunstrike just misses. This is a very active game. We have, what, 25 kills in 15 minutes? Unfortunately, for South Park, only 6 of them are on their side. As the final tier 1 falls for South Park. They are out of 3 fortifies now. Strawberry continuing to farm up, completely uncontested in this middle lane. Really getting what he wants. Getting all the gold, getting all the experience. As we get the Vanguard pickup on TGS. Could be going into... Oh, Kenny's in trouble here. It all comes down to if this Ice Blast hits. Will it? It does! Just catching him on the edge. It was very close. But he was too slow in Ghost Walk to get out of it in time. We could be seeing the Crimson Guard pick up from the Vanguard here. Which could actually work really well against this team. They're quite physical base damage. Particularly with the Exort Invoker as well. I really like this Crimson pickup. Strawberry hanging out in the trees. Looking for a moment of initiation. The Anchor Smash does pick up the bird. Which was a little bit upsetting for him. But they are very separated. They're very divided right now. And that's fine for the Radiant. As long as they don't give up a kill when they're like this. They've got to play smart, get farm. An Ace of Angels scouting out is not a bad idea. Goes in on Stan. Probably is going to get stunned up. It comes down to this TP time. Is he going to get out? He does on very little health. One more right click would have brought him down. That was unfortunate for Stan. For Ace of Angels even. But it does give him time to go farm the jungle. What the Radiant need right now is some aggressive warding. Get one on this area. Perhaps one on this side as well, or behind the tier 2 middle, and then they can come as 3 or 4, potentially even 5, and just go for a big fight. With good initiation, they can definitely take it. TGS forcing all 5 rotations up top, which means they are going to be able to just very slightly bite the tier 2 bottom and do a little bit of damage. I really like that Lilith is just chilling out here. The swap range is not the best, so she won't be able to swap in or out. But it does mean that there's more people there than they are aware of. And they are, of course, walking down. With a level 2 in Never Swap, that would be a fantastic position because she would be able to get a little bit more range. But as it stands, it's not the greatest spot. They do go in onto Eric. Glimpse comes back, and they do get Ace of Angels out safely. It was a force of the Shadow Dance, though, which is on 50-second cooldown. And this tier 2 eventually falls to Strawberry. And right now, what is South Park doing that's negative? They are not responding to these fights efficiently. They're all rotating as 5 to the Axe, which is fine if you want to go for that. Axe is worth a lot of gold right now to the right person picking him off. But they're not playing aggressive enough to pick it up because they don't have the wards out in the spots they need them. Yes, you've got the Observer here, but when was the last time people fought in this area? It was well long ago. You need defensive ones in similar positions where the Radiant need aggressive wards. The Ice Blast comes out. Without those aggressive wards, they're going to struggle to take a fight because they won't have the safety net of knowing Axes alone, we can go on this. All they knew is Axes alone and Venge and Beast are down bottom. And potentially not even that Venge was down bottom. Age of Angels looking to go on Kyle here. They get a click, the Stonewalk does come out. They should have thrown the Magic Missile first. But again, that's not the greatest stun duration, 1.65 seconds. Interestingly enough, we did get the Scepter pickup from the Beastmaster. He's doing a lot of split pushing, however, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a... He blinks in and he just goes for the creeps. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Necro Book coming out on him. It could be really effective because South Park seem quite content just to leave him to do this split pushing right now. And he could switch positions with, say, Slark. As soon as Beastmaster commits the Roar, they don't need anything else from him for the team fight. Wild Axes is nice, but it's not essential. He's just going to use it to keep pressure on the creep wave. And Axe can do that just fine. Particularly when the enemy team, are so scared of going in on you. Axe flourishes in those situations, he really does. And that is the Crimson Guard pickup we're seeing on him. Not quite sure how long he's had that. They get the Roar coming in onto Butters. The Ice Blast comes out as well, and it does miss everybody. 2 big ultimates down right now for the Radiant. If South Park want to go, now is the time. But they get a 3-man Berserker's Call. Do they get the Culling Blade? There's one, there's two. Can they get 3? It doesn't look like it. Ace of Angels comes in, picks up the final kill. Kyle doing a lot of damage. The Crimson gets popped. We've got the buyback from the Disruptor. Blinking onto Kyle, trying to slow him down where they can. Disruptor pops the kinetic field, but Kyle is on the opposite side. The Berserker's Call does not catch. Kyle still on the run. The Static Storm comes out now. Does a little bit. Another miss on Berserker's Call. And that is a 4 for 0 with a forced buyback on the support. What an incredible fight for the Radiant. And that was brilliant decision making, actually. What happened there is they realised the fact that, okay, they know our ultimates are on cooldown. They want to turn this on as this is their time. This is where we're most vulnerable. And all they did was met their vulnerability with massive, massive aggression. He caught 3 people in a Berserker's Call, managed to pick 2 of them off with just a Culling Blade, as Kyle goes in on Strawberry, and it meant that they didn't have time to get a really good Chronosphere. They throw the Ravage, and they manage to pick up a kill there. The Ice Blast comes in, and that hits 3 of them. We get 1 Culling Blade, stand very low, and he does fall. TGS taking a lot of damage from the Meatball. He is running from 3 of them right now, but he does get out alive. A 2 for 2 trade. The carry and the support for the mid and the support, but the Rubber Band effect will make it a valuable trade for South Park. It makes a little bit of a dent in the gold difference, but 20k on the net worth, experience 15k, 26 to 8, 22 minutes in. It's not looking too good for South Park. They're going to need really big pickoffs on really high value heroes as Kenny gets picked up. The Yule Scepter does what it can. Is it enough? It gets the Ghost Scepter off in time, the Ghost Walk even. But here comes the Ice Blast, and is it going to hit? Yes! Kenny, not quick enough again. And it's just because he's not got enough points in Wex. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's just not working for him on the Ice Blast. He's just being caught out on the edge for it a couple of times now. Eric low. Raw comes out. Wild Axes comes out. And the Creeps finish it off. Kill gets split between AA and the Beastmaster. And again, more pressure coming out onto the tier 3s now. And Kyle on the run. This time the magic missile hits and they do bring him down. That's what they needed last time, and that's what they got right this time. Just cancelling that time walk just before it got out. And this is probably going to be a free tier 2. Strawberry still doing a little bit of split pushing. Actually going quite deep. Another look at the items, we can see some big things coming out. We have the Vitality Booster and the Staff of Wizardry coming out on TGS. I'm actually trying to refresh myself, and is that actually a Rod of Atos? It is! Wow! I've not seen one of them built for a long time, but we are getting the Atos build there on the axe, and with how aggressive they're playing and how defensive South Park have been forced to play, they really, really, really will hate this Atos pickup. The Raw comes out, Kenny in a lot of trouble, another Ice Blast smashes him in the face, and he's probably going to fall. Meanwhile, they get out, he doesn't make it to base, it's a mega kill for AA. Ace of Angels taking a little bit of damage on the tier 3 there. Last hits, he's just doubling everybody else on the side of the Radiant, side of the Dire at least. It's insane. It's an insane amount of net worth to have over the other carry. We've also got the Scepter on Ancient Apparition, and that's terrifying. 17 seconds without being able to heal and just getting ticked down. By a considerable amount, actually. It's really, really strong. It's only level 2, but that 17 seconds does not scale by level. It is always 17. We've also got the Blink pickup on Tide, who now gets initiated on. Wave of Terror, Wild Axes, Raw. Here comes the Ravage. The Ice Blast does hit and picks him up. The Chronosphere comes out, but Kyle's got absolutely nobody in it. Ace of Angels running around as TJS picks up 2 in the Berserker's Call. Looking for the Culling Blade. There goes 1. Ace of Angels still alive. Meanwhile, Faceless Void, he manages to get out. But very little happened in that Chronosphere. 2 for 0. And a potential tier 3 fall. TGS eating up the hits right now, but they do go onto the creeps. And now, South Park have another 2-man Berserker's Call. This man is just on top of those Blink Daggers today. The multicast coming out, it's a double. Here comes the Meatball, does a lot of damage. They get 1 spin. It does get a double kill for Kenny, however, with that Meatball. cooking up the Axe and the Vengeful Spirit. The Roar comes out onto Stan. Pretty defensive, but they do get it up with the Pounce. Ace of Angels looking to bring down Eric Exchange now. It is a godlike for him and unstoppable for Burberry. Butter's taking a lot of damage. They do not have Shadow Dance or Shadow Blade available, but they're looking for the double kill, and it does go onto Burberry. Kyle manning up against Ace of Angels. This is going to be close. It all comes down to whether he can get this Shadow Brave off, and he does manage to do it, giving him the mad regen. The Sunstrike comes out. It does not hit anybody. Ace of Angels will be looking to go in fairly soon. They go in onto Strawberry. They do bring him down, but Ace of Angels is after revenge. They use him up. They manage to get the Dark Pact off and cancel that. Now the Shadow Dance. Kyle in a lot of trouble. He does not have time for Time Walk just yet, and he gets picked up. A beyond godlike spree. And Kenny, the only man left alive on the Dire, just has to run away from these creeps as he gets blasted down by them. That was a big fight. The fight recap did not do that justice because it was so split apart, but there were a lot of kills there. I think that ended up being a 5-3. And honestly, the first time South Park have really shown themselves as a strong force to defend. Kenny's taking quite a lot of damage here. I think he'll just get out alive, however. But of course, he hasn't got the healing effects right now. It's going to be a little bit close, but I think he's alright. 17-second duration is just terrifying, waiting to see if you're going to die or not. And look how scared he is. All these heals coming out now. Oh my god, that was horrible. I never want that to happen again. South Park did do a good defense. The Rack stood standing and they took 3 guys down. I think that might actually give them a little bit of... Nope, it doesn't even dent the net worth. It's actually gone higher since last time we checked. 25k. And experience, around about the same. It's gone up by 5k since we last checked. Which is a shame, because that was a good effort they made, and I feel like it did deserve to be rewarded with a little bit of a boost, but at the end of the day, they just lost more guys. And that's what equalised it, that's what brought it back. And with the Roshan coming out now, they're going to be looking at an even harder fight for the next one. Particularly when you consider that the racks are already half below. And this range racks, that's not going back up. It does not have the regen of the melee barracks. It's going to be the pickup onto the AA, actually. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Slock has got a lot of survivability, as we saw in that last fight where he got the Shadow Blade. I cannot say that. As he got the Shadow Blade off, and the Shadow Dance after that as well. But as we saw as well, it's also dictated by how much cooldown's left. I mean, it was close. He barely got out of that alive, and the H's would really secure the ability for him to fight. And if not him, why not Beastmaster? Beastmaster's doing great. He could do with another life. But they elect for the AA, and I'm sure he's happy for that to happen. As the tier 2 starts to get hit now. We're actually seeing the Vlad pick up from the Beast. Quite a late one, but the lifesteal's definitely a nice aspect for them to have in team fights. They throw the Chronosphere and it misses! As does the Static Storm. This is so bad! Kyle on the run, the Ice Blast comes in. That's not going to hit anyone. The Ravage catches 2 of them. We also get the Sunstrike onto Strawberry, bringing him down. TGS gets a 3-man Berserker's Call. Are you surprised? I'm not anymore. Kyle taking a lot of damage. The Culling Blade comes, and there it goes. Pick up onto the Faceless Void as Slot kills the Disruptor. And now Butter's in a lot of trouble. Another Culling Blade for a double kill. And Kenny taking a lot of damage. The multicast comes out of Ace Angels, but it instantly gets Dark Packed away. Stan taking so much damage. We're going to see another Culling Blade, and there it is. It's a triple kill, a 4-for-1. And just everything went wrong for South Park there. So many missed ultimates. The Chronosphere, the Kinetic Field, and Strawberry. Kenny is the only one alive. How ironic. Yeah, that's pretty true. Clearly he's tired of dying. Kenny the only person to have a permanent Aegis Immortality in the show, of course. TGS does not know Kenny's there because of the Ghost Walk. Lilith actually TPing out and instantly gets glimpsed back. Oh dearie me! The Sunstrike comes out. She ukes it! Holy shit! Wow! That was definitely intentional. Just suspected that it was coming. And Eric gets the turnaround put on him. How upsetting for them. The Ags Roar manages to catch Butters, and that's another kill. Another turnaround when it looked so bleak for Vengeful Spirit. And potentially another Rax. Definitely another tier 3. Looks like they're going to turn their attention to getting rid of these towers as well, and just let Venge come in and gloat that she's still alive. You have to try much harder than that to kill, as the first barracks falls, and the courier dies! Oh dear Christ, this is bad. 1200 gold on that. Another axe taking damage. This is going so badly for South Park now, so badly indeed. Do get a Sunstrike come out, does not get the kill. Venge is okay. And my god, what a uke on the Sunstrike here. Just completely avoided it by exactly as much that was needed. Venge TP's back to base. We could be looking at the final defense here. The Chronosphere catches 2 of them. They drop the meatball as well. It's actually 3 in there. TGS taking a lot of damage. He may fall. Strawberry may fall as well. He does. Both of them drop. AA low. He has got the Aegis. He's not really the one you want it on. The Sunstrike picks him up. They do get the Ice Blast, and the buyback from Strawberry comes in to pick up 1 kill. We get the regen on Burberry as he falls instantly. Aegis on him had very little effect. Big fight for South Park. Gold makes a dent, but 30k, it's still going up. 30k experience as well. Right now, they're just sort of taking 1 step forward, 2 step backs on the side of South Park, and you're not going to get very far like that. It's been a long time since I've heard that song. It feels, what, GTA San Andreas? Ridiculously good. Okay, so right now, things are a little bit calm, which is good, because this game's going to give me a heart attack if it carries on. Let's have a look at the items. We've got the Force Staff, as well as the Yules on Ancient Apparition, which is letting him sustain a little bit more. They get the swap from Lilith! What a piece of shit! Cancelling out her teammates' TP. Wow. Okay, that made me laugh more than it should have. But you can always relate when something like that happens. They get the multicast onto Strawberry, and they throw the Ignite. They have not got Chronosphere available. It doesn't look like they need it right now. They're really bringing Strawberry down fast, and the Sunstrike to do that extra bit of damage, and the kill goes to the damage over time from Ignite. But Kyle gets killed in exchange. Multicast onto Lilith. Kenny takes a lot of damage. He is dead here. Ravage comes out. Lilith is very low. They're going to try and bring her down, but she's going to get out alive, and Butters is going to fall in exchange. Double kill. Kenny, so close to dropping right now, frostbitten, and there he goes. Ace of Angels continuing to chase down Eric. Does he pick him up? The stuns are just too strong right now. More stuns coming out from Stan. He does get the blink from TGS, and they bring down 1. Kyle very low. The Chronosphere just trying to do what it can, but it's having no effect. Kyle is so damn low. The Culling Blade misses. They do get the Shadow Blade off on Ace of Angels as we get the buyback from the Invoker. Could be looking for a couple of pickoffs here. He throws the Sunstrike. He misses the Sunstrike. TGS alive. Stan giving chase. Picks up 1. Can he get the other? Yes, he can. Double kill. Making it a 3 for 3 with the buyback on Invoker. And Ace of Angels just cannot control what happened. GG being called. My voice starting to go. Thank Christ. Wow. What a fight. GG, of course, being called by the Ancient Apparition, so I don't know how willing South Park will be to give it up to him just yet. They get the Berserker's Call. Deafening Blast coming out as well. Going to do a lot of damage. Burberry low. He's taking damage over time as well. TGS going to try and get away. The Meatball comes out. Here comes the Ice Path. It only clips them. They have got the 17-second duration. Butters is there as well. Doing so much damage to TGS right now. Can they bring down Stan? I think the Frostbite just might do it. It's so close. He's low. He's getting lower. I think he's going to drop. This is going to be really close. And no, he's going to get out alive. Barely. Wow. On the edge of his teeth there. Taking a 3 for 1. What a good fight. Incredibly good fight for South Park right now. Net worth, the advantage is still very much in the Radiant's favour. They're losing racks every time they defend. It is a very bleak situation to be in, but they're not giving up. And that's admirable. 48 to 19. And look at the drop in that experience. 10k. And net worth is not quite as impressive. But experience, they're not going to shake their heads at that 10k. They're not going to turn it down. Lilith carrying on. Trying to do a little bit of farming here. And it seems like they may just want to regroup. Roshan back up fairly soon, I think. I'm still not sure how to read this clock. I think that's a minute and then we get extra time. So it could be anything between 1 and 4 minutes till he's back up. DD room gets spotted out as well. Picked up on the Slark. So they'll be looking for a kill, and Butters may be in the wrong place for this. Also, look how far Slark's net worth bar is compared to everybody else's. It's ridiculous. Here he comes. I'm sorry, Butters. There's just no way out of this. You're getting 4 hit. Enjoy the melt. Meanwhile, we get a full multicast as Lilith takes a lot of damage. They manage to bring down the Invoker. He gets a double kill, in fact, on the Beastmaster and the Venge. They bring down Tide. And Ace of Angels using that double damage to just destroy the tier, well, the Brax. The Chronosphere didn't catch anybody. Kyle taking a lot of damage. Ice Blast available in so many seconds. TGS has not got Blink available. Got 4 staff, got a lot of multicast in exchange. But Ace of Angels still with that DD room doing so much. Let Stan get out alive. Axe manages to pick up the kill on Faceless Void with the Culling Blade. And this is the final Rax here. No buybacks available. I don't think they can defend this at all. Ace of Angels going a little bit deep in. Activate the Shadow Dance. Didn't really get anything out of it, but has still got the Shadow Blade available. There it goes. Meanwhile, Axe just hitting this, giving it a little bit of a poke and bringing it down slowly. This is a lot of trouble for South Park right now. Roshan is up in 50 seconds. So that's how you read the clock. I understand now. The Ice Wall comes out as well. They're just trying to do everything to slow. And it doesn't matter. They blink right past it. The multicast comes out. We're getting TPs in. TGS is alone for a long time here in the Static Storm. But the Ravage does not hit anybody. The Ice Blast comes out. Strawberry in a lot of trouble. Can he fall? He may, but the Ice Blast managed to hit a couple of them there. The TGS doing so much damage to Eric. That sealed the game. That was a really bad Ravage. Really bad. He was tornadoed and there was nobody else there. The TP in got mistimed. But that's it. There's just no coming back. I mean, look at this. Ace of Angels jumps in to go one-on-one against Kyle in the fountain. And look! Axe is just standing there tanking this damage. With that heart, he is so strong. Look at this bragging rights here. He doesn't even care. They get the swap as well. Try to kill him. You just can't. Ogre in the jungle trying to stay alive. The effigies are falling. The final tower goes and they turn their attention to the Ancient after doing a little bit of Glory Fountain sitting. In fact, they're carrying on doing the Glory Fountain sitting. It is pretty incredible how long he can stay in there. But come on guys, end the game. And Eric, he comes in, instantly gets killed. The Ice Blast flies as well. Ace of Angels quite low. Barely. If they could swap the right person there, that could have been a kill. Butters looking for the pickup. He melts as well. This is just sad to see now. Stan gets out alive, thank God. And there's the game. Very well played by the Radiant there. They were in firm control of that all the way through. It went well for them. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Any feedback you can give, I appreciate that as well. I'll read all of it. I'll try to reply to all of it, but probably won't. I may do more of these, I may not, but for now, just thanks a lot.